the long-term success of your business is going to be sharing lots of educational content, entertaining content, information that is behind the scenes in your business. It's almost like your business is somebody's friend or family and you're just having a conversation. If you're just hung up on talking about what you sell over and over and over again, then you're not thinking of how a customer actually works with your business. For the changes with Apple iOS, you want to focus on, with your ads, you want to focus on audiences and metrics that you control.
Hi everyone, welcome to this episode of the Make It Happen show, where it's time for you to make it happen. In these implementation sessions, we're joined by an industry expert who will take you through in detail how to make it happen in your business. These are full of implementable actions, so get your pens ready, take notes, and be ready to apply these to your business. Let's get into it.
But before we get started, I just wanted to introduce myself to you guys. Hello, my name is Heather Porter. So look, I've been in the space of digital marketing for a really long time. Started my own digital agency, ran that for quite a few years, and then transitioned out of that into more of a boutique agency where I just build websites currently and do social media marketing for businesses, which I absolutely love. Facebook has this really cool program called Community Boost, or they've just renamed it to Boost with Facebook. What Boost with Facebook is it's a program where Facebook goes all over the world actually and teaches best practice tools in Facebook and Instagram advertising and marketing to small businesses. And I'm one of their trainers here in Australia. There's 8 of us. We're all small business owners. We're independent training professionals, and we have access to this information and we train on behalf of Facebook. So a lot of the stuff that you're going to learn comes not only from my years and years of experience, starting back in sort of 2010, really where I grew my business, comes from that, but also from the fact that I am a trainer for Facebook. So this episode is going to be all around how to have success on Facebook and Instagram going ahead. One of the things I do outside of being a small business owner, like probably pretty much all of you who are listening or watching this right now, are yourselves as a small business owner. I also am a trainer for Facebook. I'm a Facebook community trainer. So I actually do train on behalf of Facebook what's working. And I thought it was really cool when the Entourage approached me for this episode, because I was thinking, like, what should I talk about? And I'm like, of course, like all the stuff that Facebook's been sharing with me lately on what to do to have success going ahead on their platform. So I've put together a few bullet points, a few tips, a few things that you guys should consider straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, on what to do to use Facebook and Instagram in your business to be successful. So that's what I'm going to dive into right now. So you guys, are you ready? Okay, here we go. So the first things first, you need to think about how Facebook and Instagram are used as platforms. Now they are discovery platforms, which is quite different than Google. So what this means is basically people go on Facebook and Instagram to hang out with friends and family, to see, what their colleagues are up to sort of just like go on and have fun, right? They're not going in there with an intent to buy your products or your services in most cases, right? So they're just there discovering new things. This is very different than Google. Like over on Google, people will Google exactly what they want, like plumber near me, or like new lipstick, or things like that. So they're literally in the mindset of sort of either ready to buy, or they're specifically Googling how to learn something. But over on social media, it's very different. It's like, I'm going to be hanging out with my friends and my family, and oh, wow, cool. Look at that little thing in my feed. That looks interesting. So always want to keep this in mind, with your social media posts. The long-term success of your business is going to be sharing lots of educational content, entertaining content, information that is behind the scenes in your business. It's almost like your business is somebody's friend or family and you're just having a conversation. So awareness posts, as we call them, sort of raising the awareness of your brand and your business, is so, so important going ahead for the longevity of your business success on social media. It's not to say that you shouldn't be doing sales posts. You should be doing those as well. But if you are only doing those, then you're just not going to see the results you want. All right, so that's number 1. Social media is a discovery platform. Number 2 is you want to promote a funnel and not a product. So if you're just hung up on talking about what you sell over and over and over again, then you're not thinking of how a customer actually works with your business. We as human beings, we basically go through what's called a customer journey. We become aware of a problem that we have. And then from there, once we're aware of the problem, we're like, oh, cool. Let's say the problem is you're hungry. Okay. So hopefully you're not hungry while you're listening to this, but let's say you're suddenly you're like, I'm hungry. That's like you're aware of a problem you have. You're hungry. So at that point in time, you don't necessarily know where you're going to go buy your food from. Are you going to order from Uber Eats? Like, where are you going to go? Like, at this point, you have no idea. You're just hungry, right? So then from there, you move into sort of considering where you're going to get your food. So is it Uber Eats? Is it the cafe down the road? Are you going to bribe your stepchildren to cook for you? Like what is it you're going to do to get your food? You're considering your options. So at this point, then you decide on who you're going to do business with. You still might not know what specifically you're going to buy from them, but you move on in and go, cool, I'm going to do business with Uber Eats. You're in the app, you're looking through the menu and you're like, yes, this is the food I want, right? So there's so many steps in that we tend to forget about when we're just on social media and we're like, oh, what should I post today? Oh, I'm just going to talk about my product. There is a journey that people go through. They have to, become aware of their problem. They need to look at their options. They need to consider why you're the best match. This involves lots of different types of posts. Education, case studies, testimonials, user-generated content, product comparison pages, pages on your site that talk about the ingredients in what you sell or the fabrics that you use. So you truly are having a journey with somebody, and you want to consider that on social media. You're promoting a funnel and not a product, right? All the way from awareness through to consideration through to purchase. So from there, that's number 2. Always consider bigger picture of how you talk about your business. That's a big one. Oh, by the way, too, when I'm presenting for Facebook, one thing that I always share is a screenshot of the Facebook Ads Manager. And that inside of there, if you're familiar with it, that's where you place your ads beyond boosted posts or promoted posts. It's kind of more advanced. So you're in there, you're going to go and place an ad. You start a campaign. The very first step that you go through is your objective. And Facebook themselves, they have a funnel in there. Okay. So you start out by placing your ad with 3 options: awareness, consideration, or conversion. It's the funnel. So they build out their entire ads platform to support the fact that actually promoting a funnel is the best approach to growing your business over there. So build a community and not just a following. Let's say that again. Build a community. People that you genuinely care about, that you genuinely want to support, and not just numbers, metrics, vanity, right? So this is a huge theme for Facebook. Not too long ago, a few years ago, they sort of changed their mission statement to actually reflect the fact that they are all about community. Their groups are a massive, massive area inside of Facebook still. There's a lot of engagement and activity still happening in Facebook groups. All the case studies, you guys, that I share when I'm doing my gigs for Facebook are all about like the success stories of businesses on Facebook. All have one thing in common, and that is they build a community. That is their core focus. They listen to their consumers. So how do you do that? Well, couple ways. So first of all, when you are considering building a community, you genuinely are putting posts out there and conversations to have conversations. So you want to be thinking about like how you encourage these reactions or conversations on your posts. So if you're just doing normal posts, asking questions, how do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments below. Really treating it like you are having a social conversation with somebody is really important. That's also going to feed into the Facebook algorithms. When you get more engagement happening on your posts, it means that Facebook sees your posts as a community builder, and it will then show your posts in people's feeds for a longer amount of time. So getting reactions is great. Also, think about Facebook Messenger and using that more in your business. Now, it's really easy to tie this into your marketing. So when you do a post on Facebook, you can actually add in a messenger button. It's an option, like when you do a post, to add in a messenger button. So you can literally start a conversation off of a post. So you can say that you're launching something new. You can start dialogue or ask questions, or you could do market research. Just play around with that button. And what's cool about that as well is you can do Facebook ads to Messenger too. So there's this whole sort of side of Facebook that is encouraging these relationships or these conversations via Messenger. So try and bring that into your marketing mix as well in the posts that you're doing. Now over on Instagram, the equivalent of Messenger would be like DMs, right? So direct messages. So there's some really cool ways to encourage conversation and interactivity over there. And what you can do is you can start to do stories if you're not yet doing stories. And for those of you that are newer to stories is they're basically, they expire after 24 hours. They're 15-second clips. You can have like a longer video than 15 seconds, but it breaks it up every 15 seconds. So a story is made basically, whether it's a video or an image, to stack things on top of it. So you can draw on top of it, you can put text over the top of it, and you can use what are called stickers. So stickers, kind of what they sound like, you stick something over the top, emojis or little animated GIFs, but there's interactive stickers that you can use. This is a great way to spark that conversation on Insta. So you have quiz stickers and polls and question stickers where you literally can put a sticker out and say, ask me a question. So you can literally sort of be putting these out there with polls or ask me a question. And then what happens is you'll actually see the people that are responding to these stickers and you can DM them. So if somebody asks you a question, you can literally direct message them and say, hey, wow, that's such a great question. Thank you for that. And here's the answer. Is there anything else I can help you with? So you can start a dialogue and carry that conversation off the sticker, off the story into an actual chat and help them and support them one-on-one. I can't tell you how many case studies that I've have had access to through the Facebook trainings where so many people have used this strategy, specifically through the whole pandemic we've been through as well. It's been a big one, like literally sparking conversations and actually talking to people. Like what a concept, one-on-one in these direct messages. So that's another thing you can consider. Something else you can do is you can start like a go live once a week, a go live Q&A, and you can basically ask these questions via sticker. So you're like, hey guys, ask me your questions. Here's the sticker. So you could do like a video, ask me a question. I'm going to go live Friday at 12 or whatever to answer all your questions. So you accumulate questions throughout the week, and then you can go live and answer those questions there.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to jump in here to let you know if you're enjoying this episode, it doesn't need to stop here. We've taken this episode plus all the other episodes and also video footage from the interviews and made it available for free. There's also a bunch of fantastic guides, tools and resources you can use to grow your business. To grab those tools, just go to www.the-entourage.com/podcast. Right, let's get back into the show.
So I guess that's the key, is like, think truly, if you're in your business, how can you have these conversations? How can you move from sort of preaching through your posts to conversation through your posts? Messenger, DMs, things like that. That's going to be key moving ahead, is having those dialogues. Now, next is, if you are in e-commerce, you want to get your shop fully set up and ready to go. What's rolling out right now in the States is the ability to sell directly on Facebook or Instagram. So you have your shop, you have your catalog of products, and basically there's multiple ways people can buy. So whether you tag a product on an Instagram post, so you can take a photo of your product and tag it, and then from there, somebody can literally go and buy the product through the Facebook platform. They don't even have to go to your website. Or on Facebook through your shop tab in your page, people can buy products from there. Or on Messenger, like they can go on Messenger and you can have a dialogue and then they can literally buy your product from there. So that's being tested right now. No idea yet when we're going to see it on this side of the world, but you can gear up for it by making sure that your catalog is fully loaded in shops. And it's still good to have anyway, because you can tag your products in your Instagram posts. You can run dynamic ads. There's lots you can do with your shop. But get that set up and ready to go, so the time it rolls out here, you're ready for it. And why is that going to work? Well, couple things. So it's going to create less friction. So people are on their app. I mean, people live on their phones. They're on their app. They can jump from the shop into like a DM or a messenger chat with you. Like literally go, hey, I just saw this product, looks really cool. Is it right for me? And then you're like, yeah, it's perfect. And then they buy it all in the platform. Yeah, Facebook will take a cut, just like if you process on your website through Stripe or PayPal or some other payment gateway, they take cuts. PayPal will take an equivalent sort of percentage as well. So get that ready to go. And the thing about this too, I'll talk to you guys about in a minute about, some changes rolling out with ads. It's going to be, Facebook's really trying to build an all-inclusive platform where you can do everything in the platform and don't have to rely on third-party changes like what's happening with Apple iOS, which I'll mention briefly in a second. So one other thing, you want to try more video. That's also going to be really important for you. Video works for products, services. It's an incredible way to build that rapport, that like, no, trust factor. So pre-recorded videos that you upload, live videos, animated GIFs. You can build some amazing animated GIFs or animated posts over on canva.com right now. Amazing, beautiful templates over there for you. Stories on Instagram and Reels on Instagram. If you've not tried all of these, I urge you to give them a try. They're there, they work. Video is a really great way to build that connection, and it's massively spiked video consumption through the pandemic, and we don't see that probably going away anytime soon. So even if you sell products, remember, you can tell your story, like your origin story, or why you created your products behind the scenes. If you're selling service, you can definitely, talk about your services depending on what you are selling in your business. Maybe how-to videos are not the best though. Always keep that in mind. If you are the doer of your services, like done for you, you don't necessarily want to teach people how to do what you do. So more videos that are kind of behind the scenes or talking about why they need your services might be a better positioning for you. Also, the cool thing about video is that you're keeping people on the Facebook and Instagram platform, and then you can build audiences or people that are viewing those videos and run ads to them. So that's the perfect segue for my last point, which is the last one is for the changes with Apple iOS. You want to focus on, with your ads, you want to focus on audiences and metrics that you control. So I'll go through that and what that means. So basically, Facebook tracks its data for Ads Manager using what people are doing. So it can track very clearly anything that's happening on its platform, whether they watch videos, whether they are engaging with your posts. This is on Facebook and Instagram. Whether they're engaging or going to your event pages that you set up, all that sort of stuff. That's trackable. That's not going to change. It's on the Facebook app, on the Facebook platform. What is changing though is, up until kind of recently, Facebook has been able to also track what happens when people leave Facebook. So if they click on an ad and they go to your website, Facebook's been able to track that via what's called the pixel. So it can see what's going on over your website as well. So what's happened recently with the rollout of iOS, so the operating system on Apple iPhones, is that the newest updates have allowed people that have an iPhone to set a privacy setting to block the ability for Facebook to essentially read this data. So Facebook's not going to be able to read what happens outside of its app or Instagram's app in a lot of cases. Now, guys, there are 95% of people across Facebook and Instagram that use the app to access Facebook and Instagram. So 95% of people use their apps. That means we're on our phone, right? We're accessing the apps, not the desktop. So another stat on this, for those of you that are in Australia, so half of Aussies use iPhones. So guys, if 95% of people spend their time accessing Facebook and Insta on a phone, and half of us are using a phone for that reason, I don't know the stats, in the States, some of the other countries, but it'll be similar depending on where you are. That's a huge amount of people that are now suddenly, boom, overnight going to probably have their data blocked from Facebook, from the Ads Manager, the ability to read what happens on your website, conversions, sales, all that data that we used to look at when running ads that we would rely on, but also more importantly, the audiences, the targeting that we could build before, what people were doing on certain pages of our website, all that's going to be wiped out pretty much. So what do we do? So the core things we want to do is we want to make sure you continue to build your own audiences for targeting. Okay. So you can build people that are watching your videos. Perfect audience to build. You can target them with ads. People that are on your email list, segment that, customers versus prospects. You can load that in to Facebook. You own that data. You can still track that. People engaging with your Facebook page and Instagram profiles. you can still track that as well. That's all important stuff. So you want to make sure to build all those audiences, then build lookalike audiences or similar audiences or targeting to the demographics, interests, and behaviors of these source audiences that I just mentioned to you. You're no longer really going to be able to rely too much on the traffic audiences anymore, the people that visit your website, but you can rely on your CRM data, so your email list, as well as what's happening on the Facebook and Instagram platforms. Okay, you guys? And one last little tip on that, you want to make sure that you're setting up tracking that you can control and you no longer necessarily rely on Facebook Ads Manager for the metrics of conversion, purchases, and opt-ins, things like that. Because remember, the pixel and all that's going to start to be blocked. So some good little pointers on that is that you set up landing pages on your website. If you're service-based and you're attracting leads or opt-ins, even if you're e-commerce and you're trying to build email list, you want to have like a specific landing page that you send people to from your ads on Facebook. And that page is only used for those ads. And then people that sign up on that form or opt into that form, they're tagged somehow in your CRM system. So you know exactly, okay, this page, I got 10 opt-ins. Everyone came from Facebook from ads. It's very clear data. You own it. You can see that in your CRM system. And then you can match that against the metrics in Facebook and work out how much you're spending per lead, right? And one thing too, if you use like a tool like Shopify, I urge you at this point in time to look at a third-party system or app. Trackify is one I recommend, where you can track via the server side analytics. So what happens on your Shopify site. So ultimately, build audiences of data that you own and control. You can still run ads to them, and just make sure that you have metrics that are more solid from your end to track the conversions. But all the ads are going to continue to work. Don't stress out about that. Ads where you're doing engagement and video views, all that's you can still manage all those metrics easily in your ads manager because those things happen on the Facebook platform. So you guys, overall, I'm going to leave you with the core takeaways of this massive fire hose brain dump on you. And they are this. Number one, meet people where they are. Social is all about discovery. Okay. Don't make assumptions that they're in there looking for your products and services, because they're not. So meet them where they are. Entertainment and education is great. Promote a funnel and not a product. Think beyond what you're selling. You want to do way more awareness, consideration, that whole sort of hungry Uber Eats journey that I just shared with you guys. Build a community, not a following, is number 3. Number 4 is, if you sell products, set up a shop, get prepped and get ready for the new sort of phase of shopping on Facebook and Instagram that's coming, rolling out around the world. The next one, where am I up to? 5, try more video. If you've not done video before, it's going to allow you to build audiences for advertising, so you can retarget people watching your videos, as well as it just builds that great rapport and trust factor. It's perfect for sort of that discovery side of social media. And for ads, focus on audiences and metrics that you control using like the Trackify and Shopify, your own landing pages, your own CRM data. Okay. So that is it. I hope that helped. Come and hang out with me. Come and find me. heatherporter.com is my personal site. If you need coaching or help, there's some free resources there as well. Or websitelove.com.au is my website development social media training site. Either or, they have links to all my socials. Come hang out. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Take a screen grab. Say, hey, listen to it. This is like my aha moment I got from that. Thank you guys. All the best. Good luck growing your business on social in the future.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Make It Happen show. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And it doesn't need to end there. We've actually gone and grabbed a whole bunch of extra resources for you. Behind the scenes footage, videos from this and all the other episodes, as well as show notes that you can grab for free. Just head along to www.the-entourage.com/podcast and you can grab all those extra resources. Thanks for tuning in, and I cannot wait to introduce you to our next guest on the next episode.